we're here in his office in the west of Ireland on a good West of Ireland day, So the spiritual life, you've had unusual experiences. You've been to spent a lot of time in Gethsemane, where Thomas Merton was.
Yes.
And been inspired by him, I think.
Yes.
In your own spiritual.
He's been a big figure in my life.
In what ways has he influenced your practice, your faith, your whatever you'd like to call it?
Well, I think, it goes back to 19 and when I was an awful mess altogether. But I became a postulant to the Cistercians as a result of this. But I read, I think I read No Man is an Island first. And then I just started, I was feeling so lonely and so cut off from the whole world. And I read this, and it was all about the fact that none of us are an island, actually. We really need other people.
This is a book by Martin.
By Martin, okay. Yeah, it was one of his early books. And then I read The New Seeds of Contemplation, and it was... and that, even the title, it's based on, the whole book is based on the simple idea that in every moment there are seeds, there are possibilities, there are graces, there's beauty in it, and that sometimes those seeds land on fertile ground and they grow into something.
Yes.
Sometimes we just kick them aside and we walk over them, and we don't see them even. And that I think opened my eyes in a way to my own life, and it's always stayed with me that in every moment there is possibility to grow and to learn and to connect, and in every moment there's a possibility to just ignore, distract, disown, reject, and in a way I need to be open, and I need to choose what's life-giving, that frame for me what I would call a spiritual life.
Right.
It's the old biblical, I put before you life and death, choose life.
Yes.
There's a choice that happens. It's not an imperative, I don't have to do it. I can do quite the opposite, actually. I can squander every minute of my life, and God will still love me and all that. But, it's not what I want to do. But it won't necessarily just happen that life becomes deeper. It has something to do with me choosing to allow that to happen, or to nurture that along, to help it along.
Yes.
And spiritual life is just it's the lubricant that sort of
that story,
opens the doors of my soul.
Lovely story about the heart.
Well, I just think the heart, I was saying, I read one guy I was quoting recently who so the door to the heart is like a swing door on hinges. It opens in to let in the light and let in what's beautiful, and it opens out to welcome others and to let them in, But so the spiritual life, prayer, meditation, practice, yoga, it's like oiling the hinges of that door.
Yes,
so that it can swing more freely.
It's a lovely,
it's a great image. That's John Wellwood. Yeah, it's a great image, and it's so I've for me, I've realized, I don't have to be spiritual to get life. I just need to pay attention and to be aware and to be grateful and open. But that takes some effort, because it takes an effort for me, who might just be lost in some fantasy adventure of something, or some non-reality, or we can get lost in consumerism, get lost in TV, lost in lots of ways. But I want to be open, and I just, so that this practicing, praying, it just oils the doors of my heart.
Yeah, and it's like keeping a dialogue with life rather than a monologue. God can be having a monologue with life. It's all me, and I'm imposing my. Whereas you're talking about something that you're receiving. Life is going to teach you probably everything you need to know if you just can.
Well, I think that's to go back to your original question to me about my relationship with nature and how it's changed me. I would say that most of my life I've been thinking about life. What is life? And,
Yes.
and what's the meaning of life? And how do I live a good life? And how do
Yes.
and what does psychology say about what needed must do? Now I'm just living life, and I'm interacting with real living beings, animals, well, flowers, they're all living,
Yes.
growing, and it's in just living with and looking after that I'm not thinking about life.
And being
I'm
looked
living.
after by.
And being looked after by, being healed by. The garden has made, I had a lot of physical illness, and the garden is making me better.
Yes, you tell the story of one afternoon you went.
Well, I did have this story. A neighbour, I went out to the garden one day when I was just recovering from a very serious motorbike accident, and I had broken ribs and so on. I was hardly breathing, and my heart rate was very, very low, and it was difficult to get it up there. And so I was out. I said, I'll do a half an hour. I can only manage a little bit here, but I'll do the half an hour. So I went out at 1 o'clock for half an hour just to potter in the garden, not to do anything stressful or straining. And I don't remember what happened at all, but a neighbour came in about 5 o'clock and asked me something, and I just suddenly seemed to come out of a,
dream
time, and I said, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock. I've been out for 4 hours. And she didn't know what I was talking about, and I said, I'm feeling so much better.
Yes.
She said, how are you? She said. I said, I'm actually feeling so much better than I did 4 hours ago. I said, I can't believe it. I was really feeling energized, and I'd been literally down pulling weeds and breaking up clay and earth, and I think it really healed me, and I think that made me see nature in a totally new way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That
it really changed everything. I wasn't so much having some ideal that I should look after the environment. I was wanting to give back something to a beautiful world that was looking after me. Yeah. It was a relationship, and I kind of, recycling becomes like a little hug to the environment. It's not, it's not.
It touched you, and I think until the ecological crisis becomes that.
Yeah.
People aren't going to get, or it's much more difficult to get.
It has to be a love story, not it has to be that I sense the beauty and I sense what it's doing for me, and I fall in love in a different way with this planet that sustains me, and I want to give something back.
Yes.
So I joined the beach cleaning group here and things like that. This is giving something back.
Yes.
Not because I should.
Yes.
Because I want to.
And it's not an it. It's not an it.
Yes.
It's that, it's reciprocal.
And I sometimes look at the garden and I say, this is all new to me. What do you need? I literally talk to it.
Yes.
And most of the time it tells me. It says, we need a bit of, fertilizer. We need a bit of weeding. We need a bit of care here and there, or down the corner that you never go to.
Yes.
And so I say, okay, today that's what we're doing.
And that's a lovely way to end this reflection. And thank you.
Thank you.
It's been lovely to do. And we'll see you next week. God bless, keep safe and keep well.